welcome back to Channel 35. My name is Jenny J, and today we are going to be doing yoga for stress relief. So if you need to kind of brush off the week and just reconnect to your body, this is the perfect practice for you. I am here with Kira, who's in studio, and we also have Sarah, who's tuning in on Zoom. Now, for today's practice, all you need is your body and a mat. If you have a yoga block, feel free to grab it or maybe go ahead and grab a pillow. We'll be started in a seated position. So feel free to find whatever position works for you. Now, both Kira and I are on our blocks, and this just helps us to lift our hips above our knees. It gives us this nice hip stretch here. If you don't have that, no worries. Just find an easy crossed position with those legs. And if your eyes aren't already, feel free to close them. And I want you to start to settle into your pose. Let's make sure that we are really lifting through our core, opening up our shoulders, sitting up nice and tall. You can have your palms down or up on your thighs. And just take a few moments to connect to your breath. Take a nice big inhale through the nose. And open mouth, exhale, let it go. Again, inhale. Exhale, let it go. One more time, nice big inhale. Exhale, let it go. Come back to your normal breath. If it feels good for you, you can set an intention for your practice today. Maybe it's a word or a phrase. Whatever works for you. Maybe it's just focusing on staying present and noticing your breath. If you start to notice your mind wandering throughout your practice today, always come back to your breath. It always brings you back to the present moment. And allow those thoughts to just go through your mind like clouds in a sky. Now from here, we're gonna take some gentle shoulder circles. You can keep those eyes closed. Lift your shoulders up towards your ears and start to make some big shoulder circles down and back. And from here, let's slowly reverse the circle and bring it forward. Good. From here, let's settle down. You're going to gently tilt your head over to the left side. So your ear is coming a little bit closer towards your left shoulder. Now you're going to bring your left hand and place it gently on your head. You're going to use the weight from your hand to gently find a nice stretch along the side of your neck. Kira, do you feel that stretch?
Oh, yes, I do.
Oh, yes. If you're carrying a lot of tension in your neck, this is the perfect stretch for you. We're just kind of relieving, stretching all of those muscle fibers out. Good. Let's slowly release. Bring the head back to center, and then gently tilt your head over to the right. You're going to place your right palm on top of your left ear and use gravity, use your hand's weight to gently pull your head down. Good. From here, let's slowly release that hand, bring it back to center, and we'll start to make some easy head circles. So drop the chin down towards the chest and start to make big circles, maybe 3 to 4 circles to the right, and then 3 to 4 circles to the left. Really take your time here. There's no rush. And once you feel balanced, come back to center. You can gently open up your eyes again. From here, we're going to cross our fingers together. So clasp those fingers. Now from here, we're gonna pull those hands forward. Your chin lowers down to your chest. You're rounding the shoulders, feeling that nice stretch in your back. On your inhale, you're gonna lift those hands up to the sky. On your exhale, open and pull those elbows back so that you're opening up the chest. And then from here, clasp those fingers again in front of the chest and we repeat. So exhale, hands come forward. Inhale, hands rise. Exhale, open up the hands in a field goal post, opening up the chest. And then inhale, hands clasp. Exhale, round. Inhale, hands rise. And exhale, open. Again, inhale, clasp. Exhale, round. Inhale, hands rise. And exhale, clasp. Let's do that one more time, or open up rather. Inhale, clasp. Exhale, round. Inhale, rise. And exhale, open. Good. All right, hands can come down. And let's come down onto our knees. So you can bring that block over to the side. We'll come into a child's pose. Let's bring those knees nice and wide, big toes touch, forehead to the mat. Extend those hands nice and long. Sink into those hips. With every breath, I want you to expand your rib cage in all four directions. And in your exhale, allow those hips to sink closer towards your heels. Beautiful. From here, we're going to slowly press into those palms and then find your way onto your tummy. So we're gonna be laying down. Let's find a Sphinx pose here. So Sphinx position, our forearms are parallel, shoulders are stacked right on top of those elbows. I want you to press firmly into your feet. Your palms are pressing into the mat, opening up your chest, opening up your heart. Eyes are gazing forward. You should feel a nice stretch in your tummy. Pull those shoulders back. And let's slowly release down towards the floor. Let's bring those hands to our hips, and then you can bring your right cheek to the mat. Let's lift our feet up towards our glutes. And we're just gonna take a few windshield wipers where we rock our feet side to side. Awesome. Good. From here, we're gonna go into a scorpion stretch. So what we're gonna do is extend our feet back down towards the floor. You're gonna place both palms underneath the shoulders. Now your right palm is gonna shoot out in a T on the floor, so extend that arm. Perfect. You're gonna lift your left heel up towards the glute, then press into your left palm to find a twist. This left foot comes behind you. Maybe the toe is reaching all the way to the hand. Ooh, Kira's doing so good. Or maybe it just comes right behind the other leg. Find a twist that works for you. Allow that head to relax down towards the floor. We shouldn't be carrying any extra tension. Just enjoy this nice hip stretch, low back stretch. You should also feel a nice opening in your shoulder and your chest. Good. Let's slowly come back to center. We're going to bring our right palm underneath our right shoulder. Extend the left palm out in a T position on the floor, and we'll do the other side. So kick that right heel up towards the glute. Press into the right palm as you find a twist on the other side. Good. Let's slowly come back to center. Bring both palms underneath the shoulders. Push back, and we will return back into our child's pose. Beautiful. Beautiful job. All right, from here, let's press on up to our first downward facing dog. So tuck those toes under. Let's lift those hips up nice and high. And feel free to play around with your dog a little bit. You can pedal those heels right and left, stretch out those calves, those hamstrings. Maybe shake out your head. And once you got all those kinks out, feel free to find stillness. Come back into the present moment. Notice if your mind wandered. And come back to your breath. Now from here, we're gonna lift our right leg up to the sky, three-legged dog. Let's open up the hip. So you're going to open up. Feel free to bend the knee. And you can make some nice, easy hip circles. So just lubricating those hip joints. Maybe a couple ways one way, and then reverse. And then when you're ready, come back to your three-legged dog. We're gonna plant the foot in between our hands, drop the back knee down, and let's lift up to a low lunge. So you're gonna reach those hands up to the sky. You wanna focus on pressing into these hips. So you're gonna feel a nice deep stretch all along your hip flexor. Let's make sure your front knee is in line with your ankle. And then you're reaching your fingers up towards the sky. Soften the shoulders away from those ears. From here, we're gonna place those palms on the inside of our right foot. Toe heel the foot a little bit more to the edge of your mat so that you can find a deeper stretch. This is a runner's lunge. Now we have a couple options here. You can stay on your hands. You can bring one elbow down, maybe two, or if you need some support, you can also grab a block. So do whatever works for you. Now, in this yoga practice, we don't want to be carrying any extra tension in these poses. So finding a range of motion that will allow you to relax and melt into the pose is our priority today. We want to relax, we want to rejuvenate, we want to restore our muscles. So make sure that you use your breath to settle into your pose, release the tension. From here, toe heel your right foot back to the center of the mat. Then you're gonna shift your weight into the back leg. Come into a kneeling half split. So this is definitely hard for those who have limited hamstring flexibility. So if you have a block or even a water bottle, you can get creative here. You can stack them on either side, framing your face so that you can broaden your collarbone, opening up your spine, lengthening nice and long. We want to avoid this huge rounding of the upper shoulders, right? Flex the toes towards the nose and settle into this pose. Good. From here, you can slowly bring those blocks or props, whatever you use, to the side. We'll bend that right knee back, press those hands into the mat, and we'll come back into our downward facing dog. Great job, ladies. From here, we're gonna lift our left leg up to the sky, open up that hip, bend the knee, and let's take those hip circles like we did last time. Getting out all those kinks. Beautiful. From here, extend that leg nice and long, three-legged dog. We're gonna drive that knee into the chest, place the foot on the floor, drop the back knee down, and let's inhale our hands up to your kneeling low lunge. Where can you soften? Where can you let go? Here, let's slowly bring our hands on the inside of the foot, toe heel that foot so that it comes to the edge of your mat, and find your runner's lunge Again, one elbow down, 2 elbows down. Kira, 2 elbows down. She is flexible. Awesome job, Sarah. Staying nice and tall in her pose. Really getting deep into those hips. We carry so much tension in our hips, so it's important to stretch everything out. It improves everything in our lives. It makes us run better. So many benefits to increasing our flexibility. From here, let's toe heel our foot back to center. We'll find our kneeling half split. So take that option if you decided to frame your foot with water bottles or blocks, you can do that. Opening up the chest here, flexing the toes towards the nose. Beautiful job. Good. All right, let's slowly release, bend back into that front leg, place the palms down, and shoot those hips up, downward facing dog. From here, slowly, eyes gaze forward, walk your feet towards your hands, find a ragdoll pose. Your feet are about shoulder distance apart, soften those knees down, and feel free to grab for opposite elbows. You can sway side to side, nod your head yes and no. Good. From here, let's slowly place those palms back towards the floor. Stack one vertebrae on top of the other until you find a standing pose. All right, let's just settle in. Feel free to bring those palms to face forward. Close those eyes for just a moment. Stand up nice and tall. Soften the knees. Slightly engage the core, so press the belly button to the spine. And have a slight pinch in your shoulder blades, so you're opening up that chest. Nice big inhale through the nose. Exhale, let it go. Again, one more time, inhale. And exhale, let it go. Slowly blink your eyes back open. Awesome job, ladies. How are we doing?
Good.
Doing good over here? So we're gonna go into an eagle pose. Now this eagle pose is all about twisting our limbs to kind of get our body nice and tight and then release the tension. It's so good for stress relief. So let's get ourselves set up. We're gonna first start with our legs. So plant the left foot in the center of your mat. Now, a couple options here. You can simply cross this foot over and tap your foot on the ground. You can even use a block. Now, if you have the flexibility, you can also wrap that foot around. So before we do, let's sit into a chair. So really get nice and deep. Find your twist where you're gonna cross that right foot over the thigh, and then find the twist that works for you. With our right thigh crossed, we're gonna bring our hands and cross our left arm over our right. Option to hug yourself. Give yourself a nice squeeze here. Or if it works for you, cross those elbows, cross the forearms, and then find to twist. This takes a lot of balance, a lot of core, so if you can't get it right away, no worries. Doing twists kind of cuts off your circulation. We want to keep a nice, tight squeeze. And then when we release the pose, blood flow comes back into our limbs, and it feels so good. So hold it here for a few more breaths. And from here, slowly release, uncross the legs, uncross the arms, come back to standing and shake it all out. Awesome job. We're gonna do that on the other side. So let's plant that right foot in the center. We're gonna take a nice big seat in our chair. Let's cross that left leg over our right thigh. And again, if you can just put your foot down on the floor, all good. If you can find that deep twist, you can do that as well. Now, left foot is on top, left thigh is on top of our right. So we're gonna bring our right arm over our left. You can hug yourself or cross the forearms, cross the wrists, and cross the hands. Really squeeze everything together. Good. Take a few more big, deep breaths. And slowly uncross the legs, uncross the arms, and shake it all out. Awesome job. All right. Let's bring those feet about shoulder distance apart. Take a nice big deep breath. Inhale, hands rise. On your exhale, let's fold it down. Hinge from those hips. Hands come all the way down to the floor. Release the head down. Good. From here, let's use our 2 peace fingers. Wrap it around the big toe. On your next inhale, you're gonna open up the chest, almost trying to lengthen the spine. And then on your exhale, coming down a little bit deeper. Beautiful. Slowly release those fingers down towards the floor. Drop the hips down towards the heels, and then come into a seated pose. Awesome job. All right, we're gonna go into a hurdler stretch here. So we're gonna extend that left leg nice and long. We're gonna tuck in the right foot on the inside of the thigh. Now you wanna focus on squaring your shoulders towards the big toe. You're gonna inhale those hands up to the sky, and on your exhale, we're gonna fold it down. Finding a nice stretch in our hips, our hamstrings. You can grab for your shin, your ankle, maybe wrap your hands around your foot. Good, let's slowly release. We're gonna cross our right foot over our left thigh. We're gonna come into a nice seated twist. So you're gonna inhale this left palm up to the sky. Right hand is behind your back. Then from here, you're gonna bring your elbow on the top of your left thigh. Inhale to lengthen the spine. Exhale to find a deep twist. Good, and slowly release and reset. Good, bring it back. Let's extend the right leg nice and long. Let's tuck the left foot on the inner thigh here. Make sure your shoulders square off to the big toe. Take a nice big inhale, hands rise. On your exhale, find your forward fold. Release the head down. And slowly release, come back up. We're gonna cross that left foot over our right. Bring the left hand down towards the floor. Inhale the right hand up to the sky. Exhale, place the elbow on the thigh. Finding length in your spine, and then finding that deep twist. Good, from here, let's slowly release. Extend those legs nice and long. Now from here, we're gonna go into a butterfly pose. So we're gonna bring those heels as close as we can to our hips. Open up those knees and try to sit up nice and tall. This already can be good enough. You might be feeling this already deep into those hips. If you can get a little bit more, let's try to fold our chest down towards our feet. You can round the spine if you'd like. And just use gravity to pull those knees down. We don't need to put any extra pressure on them. Beautiful, and from here, slowly roll on up. Sit up nice and tall. Let's bring those feet down towards the floor. Bring those hips a little bit closer to the front of your mat. Palms are gonna face up. Slowly make your way all the way down to your back. Beautiful job. From here, let's hug those knees into the chest. Give it a nice tight squeeze. From here, let's open those knees up nice and wide. We're gonna come into a happy baby pose. So grab the insides of the soles of the feet. Press the sacrum down. So if your tailbone is starting to lift up, pull the tailbone back down. Feel free to find stillness here, or if it feels good, you can sway side to side. Maybe extend one leg and then the other. Do whatever works for you. And from here, let's hug those knees into the chest. Give it a nice tight squeeze. Feel free to maybe even press your forehead towards the knees. Get all the energy out. And then from here, let's make our way into a final Shavasana. Let's bring those legs nice and wide. Palms are facing up and close those eyes. Take a few moments to settle in and come back to your breath. If you're ready to move on, extend those hands above the head as if you're waking up for the first time, and really stretch from your fingers all the way down to your toes. From here, you can roll over to whichever side is calling you and come into a fetal position. So you can use one arm as a pillow, the other hand can just be placed in front of the chest. And with eyes closed, you can slowly press on up to a seated position. Crisscross those legs, close your eyes, and place your hands on top of your knees. Sit up nice and tall. And take a nice big deep breath in through the nose. Exhale, let it go. One more time, inhale. And exhale. Bring those hands back to heart center. You can slowly lower that chin down towards the chest and come back to that intention that you set in the very beginning of your practice. Whether it was to find a little bit more calm or peace, or just to stay in the present moment. Beautiful job. Thank you so much for sharing this space with us. Namaste. Amazing job. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you feel a little bit more relieved from your week. I'm Jenny. We have Kira and Sarah on Zoom. We hope to see you again. Have an amazing day.